good news for the team's defense, which is showing signs of strength. If you're interested in following daily updates about the team, it's crucial to stay informed so you don't miss a thing. There's a wide range of intriguing information not only in today's content, but also in the coming days, especially with the 2025 NFL Draft just 8 days away. Staying up to date is vital to not overlook any details. One particularly useful resource has been a standout tracker that emerged among many tools this offseason. It played a key role in monitoring the team's top 30 visits, becoming a go-to reference for those wanting to know which players the team has met with officially. Beyond those visits, there's even more valuable information, and it's essential to discuss what we've learned from these meetings, the players being targeted, their backgrounds, and what happens during these official interactions. Let's begin with what we already know. We're referring to publicly confirmed players, 24 in total. These are divided as follows: 5 edge rushers, whom we'll discuss soon, 5 interior defensive linemen, 1 officially confirmed linebacker, 3 cornerbacks, and 5 offensive linemen. These include both tackles and guards, though there's still some uncertainty around a few names. Additionally, 2 wide receivers and 3 tight ends have had interviews. These are the prospects the team invited for conversations and a closer look. Some of those offensive linemen are clearly tackles, and others likely project as guards, although a few are still up for debate. So, that gives us 2 wide receivers and 3 tight ends. That's the breakdown of positions the team brought in. It's worth diving deeper into this, because the situation is truly fascinating. Some names might not have appeared in previous videos, but were made official just today. Recent additions at the guard position are also now on the list. While I can't recall if a specific player was already mentioned, he's now confirmed. Perhaps he was part of previous discussions regarding the team's top 30 visits. When analyzing the data, we must avoid reading too much into the percentages. The team isn't trying to form concrete opinions based solely on these visits. It's more about broad evaluation. Sure, there's the idea of getting to know them better, but it's ultimately about identifying prospects of interest and doing a bit more digging. There are certainly top-tier prospects that the team will gladly select with the 11th overall pick, even if they never came in for an official visit. That's just how this process works sometimes. Today, we'll discuss one of those prospects who makes for an interesting comparison. For now, let's give some attention to percentages, but always with a grain of salt. Don't treat this like it's some kind of revelation. Let's break down the performance of the players, particularly one who has been the subject of recent discussion. These statistics must be handled carefully. Among the top 30 visits, 42% were defensive linemen, split evenly between interior tackles and edge rushers, each making up 21%. Tight ends and cornerbacks each accounted for 12.5% of the visits, and offensive linemen also made up 21%. Linebackers came in at 4%, and wide receivers at 8%. However, the sample size is small, which makes drawing firm conclusions risky. What we can see is that 49 total players were brought in, nearly 23% of whom were trench players on either side of the ball. In essence, 2/3 of the players the team wanted to learn more about are guys expected to play in the trenches, which is very telling. The 49ers clearly need improvement in that area on both sides of the ball. Right now, the defensive line lacks depth. On offense, the team is always searching for new talent, often the 3rd or 4th round, like a promising 3rd-rounder from a past draft. But I'm not sure the 49ers are committed to a late-round strategy this year, considering the talent they've brought in. Some names could be in play for the 1st round, and that's intriguing. A recently added player, who has become a polarizing figure, is now on that list. I'm curious to know your thoughts on him. This could be one of the few times the team seriously considers him in the 1st round. If they do take him, whether in the 1st or 2nd, how comfortable would you be with that decision? He's widely viewed as a day 1 or day 2 pick. Nothing is guaranteed, but that seems to be the most likely scenario. So if the 49ers do select him, expect it to happen in one of those first 2 rounds. How would you feel about that? Many fans are divided on this particular player. Let's break it down. According to reports, he had a pre-draft visit with the 49ers. He wasn't a full-time starter until 2024 and logged just 6 sacks, 7 quarterback pressures, and 5.5 tackles for loss. Over 3 college seasons, he totaled 65 tackles, 11 tackles for loss, and 4.5 sacks. His draft stock soared after an impressive showing at a major event, which we'll also discuss. He met with multiple teams throughout the pre-draft process, including some historic franchises. First, let's address this. If you're drafting a player primarily based on one strong event, how secure does that make you feel? We've seen teams do this before, not entirely because of one performance, but heavily influenced by it. Some players go around or too higher than expected after such showings. A great example is a Kansas City player who was projected as a late-round pick but became a standout after the combine. It raises the question, does the same logic apply to the Senior Bowl? Many analysts focused on the 49ers were present, and I closely followed their evaluations. One player generated a lot of buzz, understandably so. But when watching the game tape, which is crucial, you see his real on-field ability. He has a massive frame at 6 feet 6 inches, 290 pounds, and is a notable edge presence. Still, concerns remain about his production. That's a big issue. 49ers fans seem split. The key question is, can he produce enough to complement a star defender, or is he just another rotational guy? That's a valid concern. Analysts say he's a versatile athlete with tremendous upside, still developing his ability to win with technique and discipline beyond just athletic traits. His college production suggests he needs more growth. But physically, he looks like a future pro. That's why he's seen as a day 2 pick, potential over proven performance. When we talk about potential, we're referring to what a player could become. He could absolutely turn into something special. He has the size, athleticism, and raw tools, but he's not yet polished, and he lacks the production to back it up. As a pass rusher, his numbers aren't great. He's rated more favorably against the run. What's interesting is that he lined up over the tackle about a quarter of the time, showing schematic versatility. The other player we've discussed mostly worked from a wide position, giving us more film on his effectiveness in space. So, can a guy be both a strong run defender and a wide alignment pass rushing threat? That's what the team needs to evaluate. I'm not convinced this player is there yet, but he could get there. Still, if we're looking for immediate impact, I wouldn't draft just a maybe. The team may feel otherwise. They might see him as a future certainty who just needs refinement and trust their coaches to help him get there. I'm not a professional scout, just trying to understand. His positives include elite size, explosion, the ability to convert speed into power, strong hands to shed blocks, surprising agility for his build, and a willingness to hold ground against the run. But there are concerns. He often explodes off his back foot, letting tackles get hands on him too early. His pass rush moves need more nuance. His hand placement is sometimes wild. He tends to play reactively, see ball, get ball, rather than with anticipation and balance. That's where the gap lies between him and more refined prospects. But it's not an unbridgeable gap. That's why investing in him makes sense if the team believes in developing those techniques. I understand why they'd consider him. I'm not opposed. What really matters is who they take in the first round and what's left on the board afterward. If they go with a defensive tackle early, many top edge rushers might be gone. One might still be available, but it may take a trade up to secure him. I really like that prospect, but I don't feel there's a perfect fit, like a big name leaving that needs replacing. That would be the perfect moment, a big-time player retiring, and an ideal successor right there. But I don't see that now. No retirements that demand a new guy immediately. The team needs a true edge rusher and solid defensive line help, and both need to come out of this draft. I doubt that'll be solved in free agency. That's just how I see it. What do you think? I hope this was interesting, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Only 8 days to go. Can you believe it? But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to 49ers Zone and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill has been buzzing lately, with one particularly intriguing possibility taking center stage. Could Lamar Jackson be heading to the San Francisco 49ers? It seems like a move that could shake the very foundation of the league. As one of the most dynamic and talented quarterbacks in the NFL, Jackson's potential arrival in San Francisco would send shockwaves through the league, leaving fans and analysts alike to imagine how this supercharged offense could change the trajectory of the 49ers' already formidable team. But how realistic is this rumor? Could the 49ers really pull it off? Or is it just another case of off-season speculation? Lamar Jackson, the dual-threat sensation, has consistently defied expectations since entering the league. A former Heisman Trophy winner and two-time NFL MVP, Jackson has already cemented his legacy as one of the most exciting quarterbacks to ever play the game. His ability to beat defenses both with his arm and his legs makes him a unique weapon, and one the 49ers could certainly use to their advantage. With a roster loaded with playmakers and a defense that rivals the best in the league, the addition of Jackson would immediately elevate San Francisco to a new level, making them not only a Super Bowl contender, but perhaps the team to beat in the NFC. But the question remains, why would Lamar Jackson leave the Baltimore Ravens, a team that has supported him throughout his meteoric rise to stardom? The 49ers' appeal is undeniable, but the Ravens have already shown a willingness to back their star quarterback with record-breaking contracts and long-term commitment. Jackson has made it clear that he's looking for a team that values him at his true worth. The franchise tag placed on him in 2023, coupled with ongoing contract disputes, has created uncertainty about his future in Baltimore. Could this be the opening that San Francisco needs to make a serious push for the MVP-caliber quarterback? For the 49ers, this would be more than just a chance to add an elite quarterback to the roster. It would be an opportunity to redefine their offensive identity. Head coach Kyle Shanahan is known for his offensive genius, and pairing him with a player like Jackson could lead to something special. Imagine Jackson in Shanahan's system, surrounded by weapons like Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey. The possibilities would be endless. The combination of Jackson's improvisational skills and Shanahan's scheme could produce one of the most potent offenses in the league, capable of dominating both through the air and on the ground. Ultimately, while the notion of Lamar Jackson wearing a 49ers jersey is tantalizing, it's not without its challenges. The 49ers would need to navigate significant salary cap constraints and potentially give up valuable assets in a trade. Moreover, Jackson's decision would likely hinge on more than just football. He would have to feel that the 49ers are truly committed to building a team around him for the long haul. But if this rumor holds any weight, one thing is certain. The NFL world would be on edge, eagerly awaiting the next chapter in Lamar Jackson's already legendary career. Would the 49ers make their move? Only time will tell. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the San Francisco 49ers, make sure to subscribe to 49ers Zone and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.